by tradition.
Hold
And that
tight.
is hold tight the 3-point collectors.
Next thing, Tottenham are whipping boys for Liverpool. You lot ain't beat us in how long? So look at your face. So when I
I'm about to roll.
they forget about when the council is going to take the free.
Oh, for real? When there was a little car park out front. Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's hold
Liverpool. And as much as we can talk about Mane is a good player, Salah is a good player, they're just not the X factor, bro. Don't forget about it.
Boom. Oh man.
Hey.
What a week. Welcome. What a week. Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. Live in the flesh, live and direct in effect. You already know what time it is, man. Without further ado, I have to hold tight the 3-point collectors, even though we didn't have any amongst us. Because there are some 3-point collectors out there. So whether you're, your team's up north, down south, across the Pacific, hold tight you if you got 3 points. Real talk. We've got international fans. They might support Cincinnati Red Sox and that.
Bro, I got a York 9 t-shirt on under this.
From our Canadian
Premier
club.
League.
Canadian team.
Yes.
Hold tight. Fam, that's another Culture Cams lookalike as well still.
Please. That guy don't look like me, bro.
You got bare lookalikes.
Bro,
bro.
you're dumb.
Some production ad. Hold tight the participants. There's varying degrees of participants. There's people that lost in the battle, but there's still war going on. So hold tight them. There's people that are just losing for the sake of losing, so hold tight them.
People that
And then there's teams that are getting slapped up in derby fixtures. So but yeah, we got
shaking, bro.
I said,
The floors are shaking over here, bro.
I said, here comes the pain. But we've got a lot to get into. We've not got an awful amount of time. Before we go any further, remember the show is, backed by Manscaped. So get all of your produce. 20% off STTV. Remember, Loma 4.0, new ting, new motor, all of that good stuff. But let's get into it, man. We know what the fans are here for. They're here for anarchy. I don't know how it's going to spill over. But before I take the floor, because ultimately your L's come more recent, you probably have more emotion attached to the event as it happened today. I saw you do a video. Snoop Lion was back spitting his rap on Twitter. Talk to me, man. Where do you want to start from in this game? Do you want us to ask you questions, or do you want to build your narrative?
Please, because I'll just end up going like a 5-minute rant of just incoherent.
So I've got a few things I want to address, I guess. But I think the first question I'll ask is, why can't your dad coach? Can you say that loud, please?
We got to mute his mic from now on.
Can you repeat, please? Can you repeat, please?
Hey.
So the first question apparently is, why can't your dad coach?
Listen, 14th choice manager, this is what you get. And the thing is, it's a lot of Spurs fans lately have been coming out saying Nuno out. And I'm thinking, is it too soon? Is it kind of too early? Because I've seen managers get sacked for less. I've seen managers where they've trust the process. And they've gone and slapped us today. Them same man. You see what I'm saying? 3-0. So I look at this Nuno thing and I'm like, what? The thing is, it's when you get a new manager and you have like the 3 wins that we did. I didn't catch what you said there.
You scored.
Oh,
3-1.
Brother. That consolation. I didn't even scratch that consolation.
You thought it was Istanbul. You got a Jared at Istanbul. Come on. I'm like, bro, the fans have gone home, fam. What are you pointing at? You tell him to come, fam.
Listen. But it's a cliche thing where man disappear for 60 minutes, 70 minutes of a game, and then last 10 minutes they try to turn up, and it's too late. The first goal, for example, I'm sorry, Emil Smith-Rowe, 20, 30 yards to just pace himself into the goal. Moura, no tracking back. Dele Alli, Ndombele, Højbjerg, all just passengers watching him. Sanchez doesn't see. No communication whatsoever, which makes... I'll go into Romero as well, but I just look at so many individual mistakes today, and I'm like, forget Nuno aside. I don't even want to... I want to put Nuno aside today. I want to look at the individuals because you're coming off 2-3-0 London derbies, bro. Show some fight. Show some character. There's ways to lose. There's ways to play. In a North London derby, bro, you cannot be caving. 3 goals in the first half. Second goal was... You made Arsenal look like prime Arsenal again. Pop ball all around us. Spinning balls around the block. Man, am I going into our box within 2-3 passes? I said, what? It makes no sense. Tanganga getting caught up. We've been praising him. All first 3 games. Caught out. You got sent off against Palace. Bro, you're costing us now.
Yeah, and he's not at the standard.
Like, what's going on here? It's like people...
There's
Son, completely locked up by Tomiyasu today. He is one I'm looking at. I'm like, every game, I'm like, yo, we should have got him instead of Emerson. We paid 12 million more for Emerson. He come on half-time to do what?
Sky Sports pundits were laughing at him, saying that he was offered to clubs and they wasn't taken up. But he's
we're
diligent.
laughing at him.
He's diligent.
Bro, I can't lie to you. Outside of Emil Smith-Rowe, I would have thought he was the man of the match. But then I'm not even going to lie to you. 3rd goal, please. Harry Kane. I said with this dropping deep thing, yeah, pick your moments. Pick your games. Even when it was with England, I said pick your moments, pick your games. We built up a nice little move on the left. I'm thinking he started it as well. Now break your neck and get into the box. Classic what Lukaku does, what Lewandowski does, what Benzema does, what the top strikers do. Break your neck, get in that box, make yourself a threat. Man wants to dilly-dally, receive it, edge of the box. Now you fumble over the ball. Now you're chasing back 90 yards. You can't make the tackle. It's 3-0. It's egg on your face. Nah, I need some lightening up for real. Nah, because, bro, and then 3-0 at halftime, I'm sorry. Game is done. Game, set, match. No matter what you do, come out second half. I'm sorry. His 2 subs at halftime or what? Yeah. Bringing on a right back and a DM.
But what I don't get, ain't Nuno meant to be like at least... If you're going to get anything out of Nuno, defensive specialist, at least. I don't see how it's become 9 goals conceded in 3 games. I don't see how...
After
the Palace one... Here's the worst thing.
Actually, sorry, bro, I forgot because if you take Premier League aside, your Conference League...
We conceded 2. The 2-2 draw against Rennes.
That was the 1-0, whatever, when it was. So it's like those Premier League games, you can't even take them in isolation.
Yes.
Because if you look at the rest of the form, it looks a bit spooky.
It's more than just 6
games.
It looks a bit spooky,
yeah.
But with the Palace game, for example, you could give the excuse of the red card. With the Chelsea game, you can say, yo, champions, the elect or whatever, you know, Tuchel system. We phased out second half. We tired out because we've got a lot of players coming back. What's the excuse this week? What's the excuse for the player? Literally, bro, for the players. So for me, I want to look even just outside of Nuno and just say the players today did not turn up. Nobody.
I had this thing in my head, yeah, and I thought, you know what, that's even a cop-out because in my head, you looked at sort of Smith-Rowe, Saka, Arteta, you know, on the bench.
Bro, Ben White,
the crowd.
Gabriel.
And I was thinking to myself, is it because they understand the importance of the North London derby? And I said, no, that's bullshit, man. These guys will understand what this thing is because...
Those are players that have been at Spurs for ages now.
Well,
they've all turned up
exactly.
at big games.
In the social media world as well, you're going to have fans at you every day and be like, listen, this is the big one. Make sure up for it. We need to win it. So... I remember I let it sink into my head. I said, maybe they didn't understand the importance. I was like, no, come on, that's rubbish, man. This is like, if there's one game in the calendar, in the Premier League calendar, and the atmosphere today did it justice. I used to think that maybe it was dying. Now that game is still alive.
Yeah. But the slight issues I have with Nuno within this game is the changes, obviously, where I'm thinking, yo, you could have gone a little bit more attacking at halftime. And then for me, where you've got a 50 million marquee centre-back signing that you've made.
What's going on? Where is Romero?
Bro, he started the last 2 games for me. So I'm thinking now is the time, cool, we're going to play him, insert him into the squad. You drop him for the big derby game. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, Sanchez was getting spun left, right, and centre. No, Dyer came back earlier. It was Sanchez who came in.
Came back in, but because I guess... that probably comes from that partnership that was formed at the beginning, and there was
3 games at the start where we were so shit going forward. And let's not act like defensively we were that solid. That man did a couple decent headed clearances, but it was like Man City were out of gear. Wolves missed 100 chances that game. It's like, man, people were overselling that as well in them early 3 games.
Do you know what it's starting to look like as well? So. There's like random Wolves fans on my TN. That's actually really interesting. But they basically what they were saying is
the man that were giving you the Nuno insights earlier.
What they were saying is if you have like a team that's, you know, if you're promoted with a team and then you take a team from sort of a like championship into like the Premier League and then you get to somewhere, it's kind of like their saving grace. This for him is supposed to be a job up. Do you get what I'm coming from? Where we've got rid of the big ugly monster that was causing us grief. It's a job up. We need to sort of move on now. We need to move on quickly because we're falling behind. What we've seen so far, like you said, you're saying that ultimately some of this stuff is sackable offensive. It's scary because again, it just highlights how of a wormhole that Spurs are in. Another thing I wanted to ask you is, hindsight's beautiful, but do you feel what's your opinion on the Kane thing not going in the summer now? Would you have banked in and reinvested in that squad? Because I'm hearing Spurs fans say that their midfield is worse than the defense, but you've got Ndombele, Ali, all these guys. But clearly, if there's all of this sort of,
oh my, we was talking about him last week. Yeah, you see that today,
bro. You know what? But this,
he was invisible.
When I saw the lineup, when I saw Ali and Dom and Højbjerg, I was worried straight away because Ali non-existent most of the time. And Dom, we know. Listen, we spoke about him last week. I knew what he was gonna give. I come on your show on THFC. I knew what he was gonna give. And Dom's he's just not it for Spurs at all. The game bypassed him. He came off. He's only completed 9 Premier League games in his whole time at Spurs.
How many seasons?
Crazy. This is third season.
So we're to 15. That's 3 per season.
Exactly. And in a game like this, where it's going to be
3 point collectors or free
game collectors. In a game like this, where it's going to be high, fast, intense. It's not a game for Ndom. And if it is, then he's got to be the one that's free. So when I saw Ali and Dom Højbjerg, I worried, and you could see how your midfielder was getting bypassed. Højbjerg was on an island.
Bro,
that's unfair on him.
One pass just kept breaking that midfield.
Exactly. So when I look at what Spurs did, I didn't expect much from them. I said that I think Arsenal were going to win this game, but I still think, like, in terms of like what you said about the reinvesting the thing, I think now it is still early. It is early, but I said when Kane didn't come back initially and he didn't come back and Nuno was having to answer questions about him, that's not how you want your manager to start his career at Spurs. I don't see Kane as a leader. I see him as a great goal scorer. I don't see him as a leader. But at the end of the day, he would still be an influential figure there and the best player there. And he basically said to Spurs this summer, I'm done with you guys. I'm done. I'm not coming back from holiday. I'm done with you guys. Yeah. And now you're trying to put him back into the team, into a struggling side. You're going to get this. You're going to get an unmotivated player. Remember we said Kane always starts slow. And I said, are you sure this isn't going to be...
Bro, I said it could be a
you were talking about golden boot.
Hangover,
I don't know, man.
Because, of course I'm going to put him in the golden boot.
Yeah.
It's Harry Kane.
Because I think it's so hard for him to now motivate himself to be like, you know what? I'm going to go for this.
And the thing is I can hear that because...
Is it like...
But the thing is, no, but I can hear it even more now because I'm thinking the North London derby now for me is the ultimate game. And today, I'm not going to lie to you, there was moments where I was like, yo, I'm sorry, the little floated
from
dink.
Like 40 yards.
I'm just like...
On a half turn.
You just don't seem like you give a fuck anymore. Even Chelsea last week, I was like, yo, Greavy's
Ben
passing.
White beating him
I was
in
like,
the air
Chelsea
for the first goal.
Bro,
Ben
within
White
the first minute,
on
Ben
his
White
shoulders like he's loose.
Flattered him on the corner flag. And I said... Look at him getting the Arsenal fans up. I said, brother, you don't seem interested these last couple. But I said it's going to be a month, 2 months. It's a hangover going to be from the summer. It's a matter of when he wants to get his act
It's
together,
always going to
really
be difficult.
For me, my bigger worry is he going to motivate himself to play for Nuno?
But is it affecting
looking at
the rest?
this football we're playing now?
The rest of the team,
which is what I said last week.
Can it affect the rest of
the
team?
It will. Of course it will. He's the best player in the focal point. Let's not deny that. It will affect it. But for me, my bigger worry is now, as I said, will he want to play for Nuno with this football that's going on now? If Nuno continues, I don't know, if he can't find an identity with this team, which is what I think he's trying to do, the midfield, I'm sorry, it's not working. And the issue I have with our midfield as well is you see like United or Arsenal, if they've got issues in midfield, they've at least got the width. We don't even have the width. Mora and Son are playing so narrow. We have no width whatsoever.
Has to get some game time.
Bro,
at least he's trying.
He's shown flashes and is at least willing to run at man.
Yeah, at least
Dele Alli, I'm sorry. Career done. This is the RIP game where like... Listen, go to West Ham. Brother, not even West Ham because they're a step up at the minute. Brother, I don't know where he needs to go, but he just needs to get out of the club. I'm sorry. There's so many individual errors today. Nuno's got held his hands up today. It's disgusting, but... I've got to give credit to the ops as well, bro. I can't even lie.
Let's talk about Arsenal, bro. Because Arsenal...
Let's start from what you said last week. So, because ultimately, it's great to talk about the game, but you mentioned how you wanted to shout them out because you were like, you know what, they're doing their stuff. And one thing...
He's ahead of the curve.
This guy's so dumb. Just call your horses.
Don't do that again.
One thing that has been interesting, even though it's been like, quotation mark less opposition, you've seen there's been like, you know when there's like small things of like, oh, there's some sort of improvement. Okay, the back four shape seems to be there. the goalkeeper seems to be a bit commanding. I feel
Do you know
like
what it is? They've got their squad back. Let's be honest. A lot of their players that were out injured before are now. I think that 11 they played today, if they can keep that fit, that's where I was saying. Do you remember towards the end of last season, I said if Arsenal ain't got no Europe this year, they'll probably finish above Spurs. This is what I meant. That I think their 11 now is.
Do you feel stronger about that now after this performance?
Definitely.
That's Arteta's. That is, look, Arsenal spent the most money in the summer this season. Yeah, that is Arteta's squad out there now. So now there's no excuse. If he can keep this 11, there's no excuse. Partey's there. By the way, Partey had Ali and Dom and Højbjerg on a string. Absolute masterclass that he just dropped on all three of them. That's a proper midfielder over there. Because I mean, he's never really fit, but when he plays, you know his quality.
No, but respect him as well, because even like midweek, he played that game because apparently he said that, I want to, be sharp for the North London derby. So it's like, you know what? Clearly, there's something going on. Maybe it's that they're not running from the grind.
And then you look at the players. Well. Exactly, you look at the players that actually turned up for them. You know, not everyone turned up. Everyone turned up for them, but Arsenal played with a fire. And I remember a few seasons ago, 2015, United v Arsenal at the Emirates. It was exactly like that. Sanchez, Ozil, Walcott. It was a 3-0 blitz in the first half. Yeah. Sometimes when them Emirates fans, they call it the library or whatever. But when Emirates fans are turned up, Arsenal have something different. But Arsenal, the fans, the stadium is so filled with negativity at the time because they're fed up. But they get up for games like this. And they were
North London derby back with the fans back. I even said it on yesterday. I was on a preview with Deluded. I said, bro, I think this could be what tips the game. I said, because the first couple minutes you see Gabriel winning challenges, White winning challenges. And I said early on, we need to get at their defense. That gives them the confidence. Now Smith-Rowe and Saka are linking up 1-2. Oba's making peels off our centre-backs. And I'm like, they've got the confidence flowing. Yeah. As soon as the first goal comes in and you see how passive we are as well on top of that, I said, yo, this is only going to go one way, bro.
You've got to give credit where it's due. Like you guys were shocking, but they came out. It wasn't even just like they played good football. They were intense. You know, when you're intense, you're up for it. They played good football as well.
They played good football. Yeah. You can't. Tomiyasu, we were talking, as you just mentioned, bro. I said it in the group chat. It's early to put him at, but the way I look at him how Aspie came into the league. Can't beat him, bro. Nobody's taken him on. He hasn't been taken on in the Premier League. He's a fullback. You know, remember when Van Dijk had all them stuff? But it's a centre back. He jockeys.
He's a centre back at right back.
I'm not being taken on yet. Yeah, and he had the most touches today. He looks sound on the ball. He's switching the ball with both feet. I'm like, this is bro. That's good scouting. Up to the comps. That's good scouting.
Do you know this is the first time I'm seeing a guy where I've seen the comps and I'm like, I got sold on the comps, and now I'm seeing him live and I'm like, nah, it's the truth. He actually was the comps.
It will be interesting to see how that back, even like the whole unit, even Ramsdale, like he made a few really good saves today. Like all of them all had like question marks. People were like, Ben White, this and that. Same with Tomiyasu, same with Ramsdale. It'll be interesting to see how they progress during the season. Because they've gone above you now, right?
Yeah, they've gone above us. And they've gone, but really and truly, they've 2 good wins, I feel like. They've clean sheets. What better way to kickstart your season now after a North London derby with all these questions, all your players coming back fit? I don't know what their fixture list looks like from now till, I think the dude was saying it's tough.
It's all right. They got Brighton, they got Villa, Palace.
Brighton's not
it's not. No, listen, one thing about the Premier League this season,
no games are easy games. It's hard to look at from this weekend.
It's hard to look at any game this season and say it's tough. Honestly,
it's weird.
But like, as we mentioned, I think one thing that's very good for Arsenal is that Oba got on the score sheet, because they're going to need him to have a great season. Simple as that. And one thing that Arsenal fans have been calling for is for him to have players behind him that can create. You've now got Saka, you've got Smith-Rowe, you've got Odegaard. And again, remember last week I made Odegaard my champ. Again today, he was controlling the game. I can't believe Arsenal fans were upset with 30 million from because they wanted Maddison for 70. I can't believe that. But listen, I think, with what they've got now, I think they'll finish above you guys, but I don't know what they're gonna do. Let's see. Let's wait and see. You don't want it because Arsenal can
gas it
and then drop it down. But Oba getting on the score sheet is massively important, because just like we were talking about top goal scorers, Oba needs to be around there. If Arsenal
he's got goal boot in it. He's done it before.
Yeah. Arsenal, if they're gonna be anywhere, he needs to be around 19, 20, 21 league goals this season.
Do you know why it's more important as well? Because those young players around him, the Smith-Rowe, I'll put Odegaard in it because obviously he's
22 years old, bro.
Yeah, he's older than
those
guys.
I was gonna say
he's older than those guys, but he's still young. They're gonna have points in their season where it's gonna go a bit flat because naturally that's what happens with young players. So the experienced dons are gonna have to carry. But the other thing is Saka on the right wing.
Even Pepe on the bench.
No, but I was just saying, but Saka on the right wing is something that's not happening a lot because they've always had Pepe there, and it's like you saw the sort of he plays with this intensity that offers something. So it's like they've got stuff to play with. It's just see how this
Smith-Rowe
go.
today though, bro. That first touch. You see that first touch for Aubameyang's goal. Yeah. The first touch that he did. That was quality. He might be worthy of them low socks, man. Grealish, listen.
When I said
Grealish is little brother, innit?
Pre-season, when I went to watch the Arsenal Spurs game, I said, bro, he's low socks worthy. I said, there's way too many men out there. Bergwijn, I was seeing with low socks. I said, roll them up.
No, but Bergwijn does
Smith-Rowe, Bergwijn wears low socks.
Bergwijn wears low socks. I
bet he's probably got a calf.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He does it because of
drip, man. Yeah, drip, man. But I said the ballers. Nah, Smith-Rowe is a baller, bro.
The trainers, the French trainers. That's what
production. Cut the camera on me. Sub-question. Who has a higher ceiling? Because these two players balled out for Arsenal today. Haaland turned up today. Who has a higher ceiling? Smith-Rowe or Saka? Who do you see in the next 5 years being the better player?
I can see Smith-Rowe in my personal opinion.
On ability.
Because on ability of the fact that I also think he'll be able to influence more games in that sense. So I think he'll get naturally more clout that way. But I think
Saka
even ability-wise, technically,
though,
I think clear Saka for me. I think the close control, the dribbling, it's the thing we was talking about. You remember what people love?
I don't know about clear.
For me, not clears, but there's a gap, I would say. I would say, yeah, for me, Smith-Rowe.
Do you know it's about?
I don't think it's as tough.
Saka in his Arsenal career already, like people say that he didn't score an assist for so long, but since he came into the team, he's been accountable. He's shown up and everything. He's played multiple positions, and so when you talk about seeding, I don't know where we spoke about a few weeks ago. I don't know where he's going to end up. You said that he could become a very good fullback. He might not become a world-class winger. When you talk about seeding, that goes into it because we don't know where he's going to head up. With Smith-Rowe, he plays a very... I don't think he'll end up playing wide. I think it's
clear, though, he's going to play right wing or left wing.
You never know if he moves.
Tierney's not moving.
No, but he's not going back to left back.
You never know.
Tierney will be Arsenal's captain soon.
And the England experiment at left back is
he doesn't play enough games, man. He's 200, man.
If he can pattern that, he'll be their next captain.
He can't pattern. He's been broken. But in terms of ability, I think it's very difficult to look past Smith-Rowe. He's got that. You know when you say a player's got something about him.
Yeah, he was about it.
You know he's got that je ne sais quoi. He does it every week.
I was gonna say
je ne sais quoi every week.
No, I was gonna say, you know when a player's got something. I say, you know when they say a player's got something about him, like you can just tell, like. And I think, like you said, that can allow you to affect games. I think the reason why I like Saka is his application. Like, I think people not misquoted, but they looked at your thing wrong when they were saying about...
they thought it was disrespect.
It's not disrespect.
Ceiling, though, do you mean
what can they do? How far can they go?
Who's going to be the better player or who's going to leave a better legacy?
Who's going to be the better player?
Yeah.
Who's in 5 years?
Legacy, you can get
in 5 years, both of them are 25, 26, whatever they are. Who is going to be the better player, Smith-Rowe or Saka? Listen, what's the word? Disclaimer, we're not psychics. We're just putting it out there because people like to get offended. Who do you think? Like, for me, it's tough, because I think Smith-Rowe is a good player.
Why do you think it's so close, though? I don't think so. I think
because there's so many attributes, man. Saka since he came to the Arsenal team has been accountable. Like, think about all of the stuff he's been through.
I think he's more of the Arsenal love child as well than Smith-Rowe.
Like,
Smith-Rowe went alone, and I think Saka's like that, more like that.
I look at Saka and I think he's playing maybe closer to his full potential.
It gives you clout.
Do you not think though, Saka? I think anyway, Saka's maybe playing closer to his full potential than Smith-Rowe is.
You think Smith-Rowe has like more?
I still think he has a few more
Saka
gears to go.
obviously has a lot of levels to go though. Well, he should have a lot of levels to go. You would hope so.
I don't know, because if we go back to like what you said 2 weeks ago, where you said, what is that one trait, for example? What is that one thing that's going to make him stand out in 5 years, for example? If he doesn't even have that now, what is in 5 years? Are you going to say Saka's crossing is going to go up that many levels? His dribbling is going to go up that many? I think he's
that's why I said his application.
And I agree with that. And then it becomes about the mental thing.
Yeah, you can just frame it anywhere and he will give you something. Whereas when you look at Smith-Rowe, you're looking... in a weird way, Smith-Rowe can give you that one moment in the game. It's like, wow. Saka, you're just expecting for the 90 minutes, he's just going to give you everything he's got. And I guess sometimes when you're looking at like players and how you hold them and everything,
I just think
that magic is what
example,
some people.
If we're saying like, for example,
like Smith-Rowe could go.
You were saying like last year he was one of the best players in the Premier League, and that's what at 25 now. Yeah. You look at Smith-Rowe's age. Where was he at Smith-Rowe's age? Could he go through that many gears, I'm saying, where he's even at a bigger club at Arsenal, where he's going to have more things built around him? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I think Smith-Rowe has still a few more gears, whereas Saka, I'm like, I don't know if he's got it, but then through the application...
Yeah, it's a good one.
Let us know what you think anyway.
Yeah, who do you guys think? Smith-Rowe or Saka in the next 5 years? That's all. In the next 5 years, Smith-Rowe or Saka.
But listen,
you want to throw your 2 cents in?
Nah, I ain't got an opinion.
Listen, time is going. Let's go to the other game. City, Chelsea. I went to the game. And City were impressive. City were very impressive. City were very, very impressive. Just it was like old school City where they're just trying to kill you with the passes and just intense. And you know when Pep's like on the players and they move and they pass and it was like you're watching it and you know I was watching it and I was like,
Pep, man.
No, fam. We can have a place. What do you believe? No, like it was they were.
Do you think it was them coming like
I'll
that?
explain.
Do you think it was
I'll explain.
Chelsea sitting back and inviting that?
It wasn't even us sitting back. It was they came looking for blood. No, wait, let me go. They came looking for blood, and they were going so much. It was like raw. Like we didn't even get to a point where we could even try and can go toe to toe. They literally from the first minute throughout, literally was like raw. They just kept going and going and going and going. And I hear what you're saying about 7 and everything. That's why Tuchel said he changed it too late, because the moment we went from the three away in the midfield
to Havertz,
it became a bit more of an open game.
But
and
it was too late.
One, it was too late, and two, it's just one of those things where you have to think you have to play to your strengths, right? But you're not gonna outplay City in the middle. So you're gonna try and get around them, use your width. If you've got 5 at the back and your wing backs are not bombing forward, you've not got width. And if you've got 2 and the strikers are not trying to go into space or peel off and you've got the ball, you haven't really got much to do. The ball's always going to come back to the middle. But that's why City was so good.
I think
that their performance was, I can't even fault the performance.
For me,
they could have had 2 or 3. They could have had 2 or 3.
And I think that was maybe more in the second half where Grealish had a couple of chances. There was a Laporte.
Talk on Grealish.
First half, he was getting locked up by Aston.
And what happened in the second half?
RJ,
What happened in the
pulling
second
up to his dirty tricks.
What happened in the second half?
It's all good. Good recovery. Good recovery.
This is his stage.
But
on flipping hell, this is his stage. Boss of the European champions. If they had him in the Champions League final, boy, he would have had a result in it. But we move. Go back. Go on to say your stuff. Say your stuff. Say your stuff.
You are something else. I can't wait for this season to be finished, bro. We'll look at the whole picture, but he's having a good moment. But on Tuchel, I think Tuchel, we've given him so much credit.
It's the first time.
I think this is the first game where I've been like, I think you got it tactically wrong.
And he admitted it. He came out afterwards and he said, you know what?
Because even like last week, do you remember we spoke about the Werner and Lukaku thing? Just last week, you said, yo, could them two work? And I was like, yo, you played it.
But I said
you got what you want.
No, but it's a free.
But here's the thing, you're playing those two with City's high line. I'm sorry, City came and were like on the half. I'm thinking, yo, two long balls. And you saw there was 1 or 2 moments where Werner got played in behind. And I thought, yo, let me do more of this. And it's just, Jorginho. And everything must go from Jorginho.
Let me tell you where we messed up. And again, I don't want to get too technical or whatever into it. But if you're playing and you don't have the width and you're trying to expose a high line, someone's got to peel off and go.
Alonso is there.
No, but I'm saying we were getting pegged back, bro.
Yeah,
we were we were getting pegged back. But each time we had the ball, flipping. No, of course that's what we said. He should have changed it. But what happened is each time we got the ball, none of Werner or Lukaku were going to sort of pull out or go into that space.
Werner was trying. Yeah,
he tried he did it for the first half, and then it didn't even happen. You know how Lautaro and Lukaku used to do it? I thought that you could have at least tried that, but they just say to central.
That's what I thought they were going for that game.
And you know how we were saying that last Champions League, they didn't have the holding mid. They had the 2 centre backs and they had Rodri just sitting there. So okay, you play in the middle.
It just shows how
when you don't overcomplicate football.
It just shows how wrong Guardiola got the Champions League final, because Rodri in that game, they couldn't get close to him. It was going through him. It was going out wide. Grealish and Cancelo were absolutely running right in that game with Bernardo Silva dropping in.
He had
Chelsea, Man City. Look, the one thing that great managers do, they learn. You know what I mean? he had to learn how to actually play against Klopp at one point. Ferguson had to learn how to stop Mourinho at one point. Mourinho was smoking him every single time. There's times where you got to learn.
Download new data, fam.
Exactly. Pep saw it. Tuchel thought it will be the exact same type of game. Only difference is Mount wasn't playing, who's the midfield connector between the midfield and the attack, which is fair. But Tuchel thought it would be the exact same game as the last three. And it was not, because City were far more prepared and far more up for it. They dominated that game. Chelsea had 40% possession at home. At one point, it was 23% possession. 0 shots on target. They got absolutely dominated. But at the same time, where Tuchel got it wrong, in my opinion, when Lukaku, the ball was coming to Lukaku, he was absolutely horrifying on the football. Every time the ball got to him, it bounced back. He could not get you guys out of any sustained pressure. He had a horror show. And let's be perfectly honest. And you've got a 6'3", whatever he is, striker. You're putting the ball into him. He's got to make it stick for Chelsea players to get up, for your fullbacks to get up, for these players to get up. When he was getting on the ball, it was bouncing straight back. I'm not saying a lot of the game is his fault, but up front it was bad. And look, it was the same thing against Liverpool, but we gave the excuse of, 10 men. It's hard against him. Van Dijk was pushing him about 10 men. There was 11 men out there, and again, when you need him as an outlet, it's not
Chelsea.
there.
Do you know?
Remember what, in this country, there's big game allegations.
Hey, I was just about to say,
the case is still pending.
Spurs, City now,
Yeah.
blanks.
Man said Chelsea.
They think
I mean,
Arsenal.
what's their name?
Spurs, you guys ain't.
Come on,
Let me tell you what.
It was.
What
We need
I
to give
found-
real credit to City, though.
No,
man.
that's what I'm saying. That's back with the Chelsea stuff. City,
Liverpool, I meant. So.
they were up for it. And like obviously, when you win a game, you're excited. But when you see players on the floor, like, oh my gosh, we finally done it. It was that. And someone was asking me, do you reckon that gives them a psychological edge in this title race? And I said, I don't know if it just does this massive thing. Okay, we're going to win the league, but they've won a big battle in that.
Well, that was a big opportunity missed.
The thing
for Chelsea.
about Man City, though.
No, but I think for both teams, you're kind of like, okay, we're facing on
But
like it's going to be a long season. Like
Chelsea are top. I felt like you could have created a little gap with that win. You could have made it 4 out of 4 over Pep. So it's like, we've got that mental lock over them. You beat them for the Champions League final, and now it's like, we're going to take your title as well. At home as well. I felt like this was kind of, if this was Jose, for example, this would have been the kind of game Jose says, we made our stamp, and this is kind of where we set the marker.
I think Chelsea were I just think Chelsea were too negative, but I do think City, the press was intense.
They enforced.
City were
very
really good. And the
skeeters.
thing about it, though, is that this is exactly what I was saying about City. People need to stop this fixation that their striker is going to be a massive issue, bro. City only made themselves look vulnerable in the market because they were desperate.
About the Jesus finish.
Yeah. But City don't need a striker, bro. They don't need a striker.
For me, it's
Online would have been proud of them.
That's where it deflected.
You know,
No.
It bounces
The
before,
feet
he kicks
before
into
I'm
the floor.
talking about, the little shit.
I think he kicked to the floor, but the way I described him, I said he's a troublemaker. Like because he buzzes around. People might not like him as a forward player, but he causes trouble. Whether that gets you a goal, whether that
He's
makes
not using Ferran Torres more, to be honest. But
the season is still young, man. The season is still
winning.
young. They
He's
did what they had to do. They did what to do. Everyone's level on points now, apart from
Chelsea needed humbling.
Liverpool.
Anyway. Good man.
But the thing is, for me, there was parts of Chelsea Twitter that I found interesting. Is that because before that game, the whole talk was best free midfield trio in Europe. It's like, how many times have you seen them play together this season? Like, to be like, we don't play with all 3 of them in there. But it was a good game, and from now, I want to see how does Tuchel learn from this. Because, like we said, it's still early in the season. There's still things that we know that this team can implement. And so, okay, cool. Now you've got blood on your lip. Let's how you recover. So that's the first time we've lost since
your fixture
Villa.
list eases up now as well, wouldn't it? So this is now when you should be putting the
We've
string.
had that thing. This would have been the cherry on top.
This is what I'm saying.
Now,
It's
Chelsea,
that tempo
Chelsea's
set,
5
bruv.
next games are against pretty much relegation candidates. Got Norwich,
This
they got
is-
Newcastle, they got Burnley.
So this could have
they
been the
got-
moment where you
No, because
start
we
to
had all
create
those
that
tough
gap,
games.
man.
But I think it's cool. Like, I think there are factions that are overreacting. Like, don't get me wrong, I was upset to lose. Like, we haven't
Are you
lost it to-
concerned though about them players? As I said, I personally don't think Lukaku's been mad since he got Chelsea. He scored a few goals, but I don't think he's been
Do you
crazy.
want me to tell you what I'm
do you think
concerned
about
about?
the guys behind him?
Do you know
What do you think about that?
what-
Because I think they're struggling.
When you say
What-
guys,
what-
man, which
what-
guys in particular?
So
the
Mount and
Ziyechs, the
Havertz.
Mounts,
Oh, the 10
Havertz,
rows. Yeah.
all of them,
So
man.
they've all
Burn,
been
all of
missing.
them. No one's banging.
What I'm concerned about is, I know I said that we've got good defense, and then you bring a striker that should equal, cash money. But ultimately, man can't live on bread alone. You just can't rely on all of your goals to come from one thing. Werner, for me, when I look at him, it's like if it clicks, it could be so amazing. But he's like he plays within himself. All of the other guys, I don't see how they get a shoe in because ultimately the way we play, it's a system. Let's be real. Play a certain way that you can't shoehorn people into that.
It relies on someone taking the opportunity.
I feel like where Chelsea might struggle is they might not get enough. They might not get enough goals, bro. They might. I just don't. The guy last season. Okay, Tammy left. Yeah, and he was the top scorer with 12 goals. Yeah, Jorginho was next with 11 or something, and 7 of them were penalties or something. Yeah, all comps. Yeah. And in the league, it was Jorginho with 7 goals or something. Now, okay, Lukaku's there. Tammy's gone. So all it could be is Lukaku can take it from 12 to 25 maybe. But what about the rest of them?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
The rest of them, they still gonna have to chip in.
No,
it's not like Mount gave you 14 last season. No. Tammy gave you 18.
That's what I want to touch on. So within our midfield, there's not like. I've always said this, and that's why I remember a couple of years ago, I was like, if Kovacic can add something, it's great. We don't have loads of goals and assists from midfield. In terms of your wing backs, I don't think it's sustainable long term to think, okay, Alonso might give me 5 goals or something like that, because at the end of the day, these guys are still defending. It's something. It's the clean sheet Chelsea are going to have to rely on. And that's why when people shouldn't get defensive or sort of like attacked when people say Chelsea are a defensive team.
No,
we prioritize having clean sheets.
That's your DNA,
like, bro. Chelsea, like Jose Mourinho, yes, 1-0, 2-1, or 60-minute call, bring on the whole mid. Like that's where we've come from. So it's a different way we're doing it, but clean sheets is a currency that loads of teams can't buy. Or can't have. So I'm not worried about the goal scoring. I'm just thinking about when does it click for all those other players. And I know there's sort of Euros hangover and all this, all of that, but it gets to a point where people have to start earning their shirts. All of like with Loftus,
Chelsea,
like people,
I guarantee you guys will upgrade that next season.
A lot of people are breading Loftus-Cheek. Don't get me wrong, his 2 performances have been great, but it's like, okay, that has to be sustained now. If you're gonna be fighting for one of those 6 things and you're gonna be an option that's different, it's got to be sustained. It can't be good for 2. Yeah, it can't be good for 2 games. I've had like, and
what do you think? Let me ask you a question about Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah.
Because let me ask you a question about Loftus-Cheek. So his game against Villa, what a game, innit? Yeah. Like, that was a great game, and we know he's a talented player. We know that. Do you think maybe it's time for him to just kind of say, look, I'm gonna be a deeper player. I'm gonna be a defensive. Like you look at Loftus-Cheek's attributes.
Can I answer for you?
Wait, let me. When you look at his attributes,
strong,
he's
decent on the ball,
decent
on the progress the ball,
quite decent when you press him as well. He can turn you. He's got good short-range passing. He can drive. He's got all the attributes to be a very good DM / box-to-box midfielder. And when I watched him at youth level, I'm telling you this now. This is a fact. I left that game when I first watched him against Arsenal at youth level, and I said to my brother, I think I've just seen the best academy player ever, fam. In Loftus-Cheek, the guy was popping it left and right. It was easy. Then he went and became a pro. He started playing behind the striker. I started seeing him on the left. I'm like, this isn't. What is this? And then you look at the performance against Villa. And then you look at the cameo against wow. And you look at the cameo against
exactly. Do you know what it is for me? It's very simple. Yeah, he's one of those players. Yeah, he has to play with the ball in front of him. I think. You see, with me, like in terms of football, anything, there's very few footballers that you can trust to be in the 10 where they're facing the ball, checking the shoulder and everything. Like, don't get me wrong, he's got ability.
He's an instinctive player, isn't it?
Yeah, but in terms of he can pick the ball and travel. Like a lot of people, it's like I'm not comparing the two in any way, shape, or form. But if you looked at Yaya Toure, would you put him behind the striker in the 10 or something?
Anytime Yaya played 10, he wasn't that good. When he played centre mid in the 2, he was good.
But would you do it?
What's that?
Would you put someone like Yaya Toure in a 10 or behind the striker on the wing? You wouldn't, because it's like, if you can progress the ball, you can see the game, you can influence, you can go forward.
Was his best season at Man City not in the 10?
Who? No.
No, he was
that was Silva was there.
Next to Fernandinho.
When he was scoring bare free kicks. He was deep.
Even Fernandinho on the island.
And to be fair,
slept on, fam.
When you play like a 10, most of the time, you don't have the ball at the feet. It comes in, it goes out.
Yeah.
You don't get to hug the ball. I don't think he's that sort of player. Like, you have to be like, your technical ability to do that has to be like insane where they can trust you. So I think in terms of a 6, that's why it's so interesting, because now Saul's probably looking, being like, "Rah, I come for holiday now because I'm seeing you play. I'm seeing Kovacic get goals and assists."
Bro, I've never seen a Stocks player fall so much. Like
So,
Saul.
wait, but no,
2 years ago it was 7-year deal. He's the guy for life, and now he's being
football's a harsh game. No, I feel like he can definitely.
Do you reckon that's a place he can reignite his career? But do you reckon?
Reignite?
I think what we were saying with production. I think he can potentially, if he was in that role, he could play for a top team in that role. If he wants to play in the role that he's been playing so far in his career, then Fulham, Palace, you can go to them teams, and that will probably be your level. I think if he does this, he could potentially, bro, get himself into England.
Basically.
Bro,
imagine. Let me ask you something. Imagine
As a
England, yeah. Just imagine
This
England.
guy's stealing all my words.
No, we'll talk about this. No, but we'll talk about this. No.
He can't be my whole flow.
Listen, imagine England, yeah, in a 2, yeah, the pivot being at the best of their ability, Loftus and Bellingham. Imagine Bellingham and Loftus in a 2, box to box, engines.
Nah.
You don't think so? Why?
Give me Declan Rice and Bellingham. I'm good.
Yeah,
And
bro,
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
talk
saying.
on Deckers as my champ later on, but
Ruben Loftus-Cheek can do a conversion like Mikel.
We don't need to.
No, that's too far.
It's not. It's
Mikel's
just
too
that all you're saying is
standard.
like a 6, like literally just like just a
he's
6.
gotta
It doesn't have to be
still offer
the thing.
his-
Yeah, it's got to be 6.
I don't know.
You know, like
He doesn't
an
need to
SCN
sit.
I don't know if he's got them defensive fundamentals to play that 6.
No, it's-
It will be one game where he'll get spun round
But
by
do you know-
2 8s
but-
like Odegaard, and
but
the
do
man
you
will
know
be
what-
like, nah,
do you
get
know
him
what
back
I'm
in
just
the
saying?
8.
Do you know
No
what I'm-
defensive duties
No,
for
do you
him.
know- do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying?
You can play like you know how.
I
You
get
don't
what
have
you're
to be a
saying. I get
thank
what
you. You
you're
don't have to be a
saying.
traditional holding
Yeah,
mid.
Like
look at
Pirlo
Pirlo
did.
But
He
you
was
man
there,
actually-
but no
Pirlo,
defensive
that's a
duties.
deep level.
Hold on.
No, that's
Do you
different.
man, if you're talking about Declan Rice as your champ of the week, do you watch Declan Rice for West Ham? Do you think he's just a 6?
But no, that's why.
this is what I'm
the reason
saying.
the reason why he's going to be
This is
my
what I'm
champ
saying.
is because of that. The
He's
He's
evolution
progressive,
of Deckers,
but
bro.
listen, that's
All right, cool.
that.
How
Chelsea.
long have I warned these guys?
Chelsea
Warn
lost the
them. Who's hating?
battle, but the war
Warn
still
them,
goes
hype.
on. I wanted to quickly ask about the United stuff. So it's 3 losses this season. 3 losses this season. Losses to Villa, West Ham, Young Boys. The question, I'll keep it very brief. You came on and you said that in terms of like super teams is about your attacking array and everything. United are a super team. So this week I saw a penalty missed at the end. It happens. Young Boys, I saw a mistake in the last minute. West Ham, I saw was it a mistake for the goal or just a thing?
No, it was a mistake for the goal.
But like, was it late? Was that? I can't even remember, to be honest. I'm not going to try and cap. The question I was going to ask is: do you think that maybe United are caving under the pressure of being this super team and having this star and having Ronaldo and being because it's very early and I get the early thing, but I'm seeing individual mistakes, bad performances by key individuals that I'm seeing a lot. Do you think your team are caving under pressure already?
I don't
of being this team that should be challenging.
Nah, I don't think so. And we had this same conversation last season, and then he brings in 2 of the greatest winners of this recent generation, and they're gonna be caving as well. How about when are we ever? Well, obviously we do on this show. It comes from the top. Lingard's mistake came in the 90-something minute. But what the hell did Man United do for the rest of that 90 minutes? West Ham, again, nothing. Aston Villa, again, nothing. Villa deserved to win that game. It's not even like it was a snatch and grab, bro. Villa deserved it. Some Man United fans are going to say, we had chances. Villa had chances. We cleared it off the line. Maguire gave a hospital to De Gea. They almost scored there as well.
Bro.
If you look at Manchester United, bro, the team, you look at the team, you as a Chelsea fan, you know how important it is if you change a manager, what can happen. Manchester United are absolutely being poorly run and coached and managed. You look at our coaching staff, Kieran McKenna, under 18 coach, inexperienced at this level. Carrick, inexperienced at this level. These are the 2 first team coaches. And then you've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It is not ever, I'm telling Man United fans now, we will never win a trophy under
the
Ole,
thing is,
ever.
I hear the Ollie thing, but in that particular game, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of the individuals have to hold their hands up, bro.
See,
like especially when I look at Luke Shaw, who's getting praised as Shawberto Carlos all summer and
Never
all our
by me,
season.
boy.
This season has started off smelly.
been a
Was getting
hangover.
absolutely
It's been a
cooked
hangover.
by Matty Cash,
Maguire.
Poland's finest in the first half.
Matty Cash, boy.
And then
AF.
I'm sorry, Maguire, you said it as well, and I think we was touching on this last week as well. Like, Maguire since Varane has come in, do you think has he improved?
No.
Does he look more composed? Because
No.
that's what we was being told for the last 2 years when Lindelof was there. Was he needs a pacey, composing centre back next to him, and Maguire, you'll get the 85 million version.
Really quick one. What you said just flagged something up in my head. With Maguire, it was like, if he gets this and this, it'll be that. A while ago, and again, I'm not bringing him into it, but it's again conversations by United fans. If Pogba had this, it'll be that. Like with United, it always feels like there's something missing, something missing.
But it's like a manager. We haven't got a manager every single second. Listen, yesterday, we didn't win because we need a DM. And then the next week, we won't win because we need Rashford back. Then the next week, it's because Pogba's here. No.
It's a lot of excuses.
It's excuses because we haven't got a manager that hides your flaws and maximizes your strengths. We haven't. Tuchel came in, changed it up. When you guys had Pochettino, look what happened when he left. Look at Pep, look at Klopp. We haven't got a manager that every single second it's gonna have to be. Let's look at the individuals. Let's look at the individual because we are a freestyle FC.
But the thing is that every game for United fans, it seems to be like Ollie. And I get it, and I hear it. I don't even dispute it. But I'm saying we also have to look beyond that sometimes as well, bro. Like Ronaldo's link-up play yesterday. I'm sorry. How many times was there you lot could have broke through and he's doing back heel and I'm like, brother, be a 9. And Greenwood. What was it yesterday? ISO ball?
It wasn't passing yesterday.
How many shots are you going to take?
Young Mbappe.
But he was the only attacker that we had doing anything,
But I'm thinking there was moments where you could have put players through, and I'm like, fam, that's 1-1. That's 1-0 there.
Because of time,
I agree. That's true.
You see what you said,
selfish there.
about, because it's very true, like, your manager is supposed to, and I say about Chelsea all the time, optimize what your players are good at. But just cook as clear and coherently as you can very quickly. What would you say on Man United's weaknesses? Forget about Oli. Forget about Oli for a second, because ultimately he always talks about his lack of system. If you look at Man United's squad as a team,
bro, we're about to listen.
No, but forget about the Oli fact. Do you get what I'm trying to ask you?
No, but listen. Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. Our weaknesses are how we play from midfield. Okay. Because we ain't got midfielders.
Enlighten the followers that probably don't understand.
We ain't got midfielders. Everybody knows. Listen, you know. What manager will have the players that we have and our midfield week in, week out will be McTominay and Fred? Listen, I'm sorry, McTominay, good, honest guy, good, nice character.
Model professional.
But he's not all that. You know what I mean? He's there to be in the team to, if a good team will have him coming on 70 a minute, maybe in the big games, he'll be that guy. Not starting week in, week out against low blocks and stuff. That is where our initial issue is from. For me, I think our fullbacks ain't all that, in my opinion. They're excited about short.
Attacking wise,
I don't think, attacking wise. Okay. But even as much as we talk about these personnel, they're much better than what they're showing. We're about to leave this season probably, and I can guarantee you, and I said it before, Sancho's gonna be a bum. Look, Sancho's a bum. Pogba's a bum. Ronaldo's finished. Van der Beek's washed. Rashford's washed. Bro, these are fucking talented players I'm naming off here. Yeah. And they're all going to be washed. I bet, watch. Varane, fraud. He's going to be a fraud. Until Oli goes, all of these guys are going to be average players, bro. And he needs to leave. Think about it. And I keep asking, and this is when everyone's always like, okay, what? If Oli left Manchester United tomorrow, who's hiring him? He might not get a job in the Prem. He might not get a job in the Prem.
Does there not come a point though when we look at these, like you said, a lot of these high talented players where they take control themselves? They start dictating games themselves. You know your manager's tactics aren't working. Cool. You take control. Ronaldo starts pulling the strings like he does with Portugal.
It's like a hostage.
I'm not saying like every game, but there should be moments where you think, yo, some of these players should just Pogba and Bruno get amongst themselves. Like, yo, keep the ball down for 5 minutes.
But bro, I do get what you're saying. But then again, it comes down to, if you're talking about like calm the game down or whatever, who's calming it down? Tom and Fred, impossible. Then you're talking about get you out of the moments, bro. Individual quality is what got us second.
It's all that's
it's what gets us semi-finals. Your manager needs to take you over the edge. When you look at Man United play, our players are on the ball. We're looking around. We don't know. When Chelsea get the ball, they know Jorginho's coming in here. Reece James is going out wide there.
There's no patterns.
With us, it's like Wan-Bissaka. I'm not dissing him. He gets the ball. No options. Oh, I got to take this guy on maybe. And then I got to force a pass into... Bro, United.
Let us know what you think.
Man.
United
suffering.
Weaknesses.
Good luck.
Let's say we are suffering.
Suffering.
Champ and dud.
You know what bad managers like.
Production.
Right now.
I'm gonna let you go first. Still, who's your champ and dud?
Champ of the week. Brentford.
Yeah.
Because
tight.
talking some credit. They gave Liverpool all the smart. They were fighting.
Yeah.
Every time they went down, they kept coming back. So they're my champs.
And the way they overloaded that back post for all 3 goals, they said we found a weak point and we're gonna hit that.
VVD got beat twice.
Van Dijk, Matip, they were way off it. They were way off it. Way off it.
Challenge at the end, but
Someone brought the allegation. Someone said that the allegations
cleared
might
it
have
off
come
the
up
line,
again,
to be
but,
honest, man.
do you know what I like about
on the
Brentford?
other end.
They've come to the Premier League and they've said, we have to be more. We have to be more. Like they
more
actually
than a bus stop in house.
Yeah, like they've really tried. Like even that whole sort of old school 2-striker thing of Mbeumo and Tony is so funny, but they're running it back to early Barclays heritage. Two strikers.
Hey,
like they're trying
physical, making
big and small,
making centre backs work.
They're doing
fam.
big and small. Man said
Wembo and Tony headache.
fam.
Yeah,
so
bro, making
no, fair. That's a good one.
My
Yours?
champ, I would say Courtney Hall's.
Yeah. Hey, this,
Big dripper.
Courtney,
Big
I saw you on, I mean, this durag is
Hey.
for you. Send me,
Hey.
what is that clothing line thing?
Gallery department.
Send me some
pieces.
gallery
Hey,
department,
listen,
blood.
Go check that video as well. And then obviously the goal, the winner, big moment. And then Declan Rice as well. Brother, the last
on
couple weeks, bro, I've been noticing a change. And every year you've said there's been an evolution in his game. From centre back, then he becomes a defensive midfielder, and people are like, nah, he's more of a centre back. Even I was always saying, I want him drifting back. I think he's got the traits. This season, he's on some box to box shit. He's on some long busting runs where
Goals and assists,
goals
bro.
and
That's the
assists,
most-
bro.
that's the
It's
fun-
like
that's the fun
that
part.
is what the evolution top players do. I feel like, when you're saying the application with Saka, that's what I want to see. Year on year, you just see, all right, I can visibly see the difference in this player.
Do you know what I like
Quality.
about him?
For me, I'm giving him a champ because the last, I think, 3 games now,
he's
been involved in deciding moments.
Bro, man's passing it
doing
right
all
foot,
that.
left foot, forward.
Brother.
You know, he's in the top 5 most passes forward in the league. He's in the most drives into the final third. All of this type of thing,
Bro,
Everything people doubted him for, he's showing them. And they're still hesitant to give him his cut because Gary Neville will turn around and be like, I think he's a centre back playing in midfield.
Do you know why you have to
Silly.
respect it? Is because you know how we talk about all the talk about does he move, does he not move, and everything. Head down. Where's the skipper's armband and everything? But
22-year-old captain.
I think again, it's not always about comparing players, but you look at him in terms of West Ham, just applying himself, getting his job done. You can see his importance to his team. And then remember we was talking about Maddison and everything. It's like you should be able to have that sort of clout in your team. It's a perfect environment. He's made West Ham the perfect environment for him to just ball.
Fam,
Like
it's
it's not that
He's took the keys from Mark Noble, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
He was under his wing.
Yeah,
took it
last
and he's
season was
running
under your wing. Now he's watching from the bench.
Wasn't Noble
last
supposed to
minute
retire
penalties.
last year? He said he wanted to see the fans in the
One more
stadium,
season
innit?
Yeah.
Man said run it
But
back.
my champ, Salah got his 100th goal in 151 games. You got to give him credit for that. I want to give champ, bro. No one's talking about it, and I think he's a top player. And if he went to someone like Liverpool, I tweeted it, he'll be unreal. Ismaila Sarr, bro. Ismaila Sarr, top scorer in the Premier League at the moment, bruv. Really good player, fam. Last season, he did his thing for Watford.
Frontline, Watford got
Yes, bruv. I'm telling
They're
you.
finished
Watch out
in January.
for him this
They are
season.
finished.
Watch out for him this season.
They are
He's a
Klopp
good
finished in
player,
January.
Huh?
yeah. Klopp player, yeah.
I think if they get tired, not tired, but I think if when Mane starts to whatever, I think he's a perfect replacement.
Him for a couple of
Yeah.
months. So I'm like,
They chose him. It was between him
Jota.
and Jota at one
Yeah,
point.
and they chose Jota.
And
wasn't
then something happened, and they ended up getting Jota the next season.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
think he's really good, bro. Trust.
No, he's talented. My champ goes to Fatty. First game back in like nearly a year with the injury. Scored. Ran the 10 shirt as well. That's a lot of weight. Like I know he has to take it because ultimately in Spain you have to take the number and everything. But that's a lot of weight. Like a lot of people will probably be like, "Nah, can I have like 19?"
Henri's drip. You see Henri's drip today?
Yeah. And you know
Little
what? Give
kettle on his wrist.
Gotta give
Kettle on his wrist.
Gotta give
Old school
Arsenal-
JVC.
Got to give Arsenal a shout out as well because again, that's a performance. Like I think with Arsenal, it's a very easy club to just kick down when they're down, but a lot of people don't want to give credit when they're actually applying themselves.
Gabriel.
So, in terms of
Rafinha
duds,
got another goal as well. Rafinha,
he's trying.
he was talking about
Masha,
quietly
he's
doing
trying.
his thing
Masha.
still, and it was a nice finish.
duds,
Duds.
Let me go first.
go on.
360TV admins done of
Yeah,
the week.
yeah. No, why you not let me
stealing it?
Why you not let me
Why you stealing our thunder, bro?
360 admin.
You see how man
Hey, suicide, fam. Suicide.
360TV admin.
He said,
Done
"Yeah, I
of the
can't
week.
kill me. I kill myself."
Man said,
You remember Getsu? How
Fam,
can they kill me? I'm suicidal. I'll take my own life.
Man said Pinnock is a young boy.
Yo,
I said it can't be the same Pinnock.
Bro, one for 360 admin this week, man. Bare typo, bare things. Jack Wilshere looking like Jack Grealish and that.
yo, that was
You know what made me
hilarious.
laugh, yeah? Some people in the comments were like, he did this for interaction. I'm like, nah, mate.
he's
Just
Trust me, he's so waved.
He did this for interactions. I'm like, nah.
So that's a
Nah,
dud.
my dud of the week.
Hey.
I'm sorry, man. I have to give it.
AJ.
You know what? I'm not gonna give him dud,
Don't do
but
it,
I'm just
man.
gonna quickly touch on it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
give him
let's
dud
touch on
because dud is harsh. It's a harsh thing to say, innit? Because you lose a fight. You can't give somebody a dud for that. But let's just quickly touch on that. If we got 2-3 minutes
Go on,
extra,
quickly.
bro. Anthony Joshua in that fight, you said you like to claim you're a boxing specialist or whatever,
I
but
ain't clear no special. You try to claim special. That's not
Anthony-
they're fist
Hey,
man up.
wait,
he's right.
Wait,
He's
fam.
round. He's round, bro. Where's he round? Where's he round?
He's scum for that.
Comes that
Jack,
tune.
undermine it like, yeah, you claim to
No, but-
Comes that tune. They say stick to football. You know.
But Usyk, I don't think AJ will. You look at that fight, bro. I personally think that could have been nearly 12-0, bro, in rounds.
Man said 12.
Bro, it could have been 12. It could have been 12. Bro, I don't
6 and
see
8
what round
maybe,
AJ won. And when I was looking at it, yeah, like everyone knows from before the fight, if it goes the distance, AJ is gonna lose. It's because Usyk is a specialist in what he does. He can fight, bro. AJ, but wait, one thing is that why for me, I feel like AJ just looked a bit weak out there, bro.
Was that not the skinniest he'd looked, bro?
That's the slimmest I've seen him since the amateurs, bro. And when I look at him, I was thinking, why are you not going for it, bro? There was points where I'm like, it's round 10. It's round 10, bro. Try and knock him
when
out.
you're trying to dominate the center of the ring the
Yeah,
entire
bruv.
time as well, I'm like, come on, at least have a counter, at least have something.
And my
Fucking hell,
only
it's
thing is,
Johnny Nelson and
no,
and
but my only thing is,
and Ricky Hatton, bro. I was like, yeah, and he didn't snip his neck. Man.
My only thing is though.
Tell us why you like the losing, cuz. Tell me about AJ, bro.
My only thing is,
Tell me about CR.
Do you guys think AJ has improved over the years?
He's
I don't
improved
think
as a
he has.
boxer.
I think
He's
he
improved
was-
as a boxer. His
Has
boxing's improved. I think it's
You
harsh.
reckon?
His boxing has improved because
I
he
think
went
it's a
from
bit of
he went from a
scared
brawler.
tactics
No.
in my
He went from a
opinion,
brawler, and then when his boxing got into question, his boxing ability improved. Like he had to go like, you know what, I can't
What
just
fight?
box.
The Ruiz fight.
Just in general, over the years.
No, but he was just ducking
No.
Ruiz a little bit.
Klitschko's a lot
No.
older.
This is where we have to like. If we're gonna like, I don't want to spend too long on it. His boxing ability over the years is improved. What hurt him was that you have to know when to apply when. Someone that's had 300 amateur fights is smaller than you, quicker than you. Conditions probably fight 15 rounds. You're not gonna beat him on points. You have to go in there and
That's what I'm
stick it
saying.
on him. You've got to
Yeah.
make it uncomfortable, especially on your home turf. Usyk is someone that goes literally. All of his recent fights and everything, he'll go to your hometown
Your back
and
garden.
he'll collect rent. He's a rent collector. He's like, if you don't pay, he'll take it away. He does it for fun. So I'll be honest,
Man say he's a bailiff on your job, bro.
real talk. Jehovah's Witness, he's just
You know what I mean?
I'm
He's like,
sealed.
Femi,
I like
Femi,
I like that TV.
Femi.
Let me get that TV. over there.
Femi. So I don't want to go too deep into it, but there's small things I noticed, like Johnny Nelson interviewing AJ in his room before the fight, the long ring walk, even the small things like the haircut. Fam, usually he goes into a fight rugged because he's like, you know what, I've got to go to a dark place. It seemed a little bit like this was glamorized, and that comes from the Fury fight falling through and like, you know what, this is second best. You don't second best a monster like
But
this.
do you
You've
think
got to be
AJ
careful.
And
You've got to
that's,
be
do you know what,
careful.
I don't
That's
think-
where it
wasn't
came
that
from.
how Ruiz won cost him as
That's
well?
where it came from.
Where he just thought, yo, this
when
is a backup.
when your big fight doesn't happen, you go to another fight. You don't second best.
But
it.
I don't think I
wanna
don't
say too
I don't
subtle.
think
Too many
yeah.
Google
When
ads.
I look at the greats or whatever, I just don't think AJ has that dog. He ain't got that dog
We'll
in
see,
him.
man.
You know what I mean?
We'll see,
Fuck,
man.
got that
We'll see.
dog
Is
in
this
him,
not
bro.
the
We'll see. It's the
perfect time
perfect
for a
time.
villain arc?
It's the
What, we
perfect
said
For
this
the
after-
heel
We
turn.
said this after.
You know them
We said
ones.
this after Ruiz, though, bro.
No, but Ruiz was like the jolly fat guy. You can't go heel after beating up the jolly fat guy. Now you've had
It's like being a
USSR.
But you-
It's like
Even
being a
Drago
Volkswagen.
has run up and rocked your
But were
shit.
you man listening to what his team was saying in the corner?
Turn against me.
Bro, it was like round
Everyone
7.
against me now. This is the perfect
I'll
time.
be
But it was
honest,
like
like,
round 7, round 8.
don't
His
like-
team in the corner was saying, "Brilliant, brilliant, AJ, brilliant.
Nah,
Like
I think-
stick behind your chest.
Because it
I'm
wasn't as bad as the
what?
first 3-4
But
rounds.
to be fair,
bro.
yeah,
He was
his
getting
eye was.
cooked
His
them
socket, I
early
think his
ones.
eye socket's broken or something.
I didn't
He
look
didn't
into
look
it
like
too
he
tough,
wanted
but
to get
what,
up off
all
his
I would
stool
say is,
after a
yeah,
while,
if
bro.
like if you're champion of the week has to go to Usyk because do you know boxing's such a corrupt sport? Yeah, he knew that he had to school a man so badly that when the judges still try and cheat, I've won because some judges were calling 115, 113.
Yeah.
So do you know how much
And
schooling you
feel,
had to do to
and
make them look
feel,
like
and
it's?
feel.
So imagine if he didn't school that much, they would have called a draw or split
That's what they
decision.
do.
You
They
know?
cheat in your homeland. innit?
So, boy, you have to give him credit for that.
But it's about, hey,
yeah.
listen, you only become a 2-time, 3-time, 4-time champion
By bouncing back.
by bouncing back.
So now,
Because
obviously, just
Floyd Mayweather has completely made people think that
can
boxing,
be unbeaten.
everyone has to be unbeaten. You could be the best boxer ever
Cause
in
I'll give
heavyweight.
that man.
One bang can knock you. The bang by Ruiz messed him up. He was winning the fight. The bang hit him. Whatever, he lost. That's
the
boxing.
heavyweight division,
And people
bro.
remember Muhammad Ali. How many fights did he lose? 6, 7?
Yeah, I
or
think
something. Mike
7.
Tyson lost
Fam.
fights. These are all the greats lose fights. So
do you know what's so
I
mad?
feel like
You're
Mayweather's
fighting.
made people think.
You are fighting. Like you're going to lose. You can't win everything. You are fighting. Like, fam, it's not a football match or something. Like even in football, on what's it called, Invincible Season. How many times do you see that? Like
Exactly.
the reality of sport is you're gonna lose. Like he will come back. It will
But
be
people
calm.
need to, like, you know what I mean? Like people
And
are going on like it's over.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go
to
too left here, but I
It's
love it
hating.
how when a black man is the man that's fronting you,
Yeah.
it's like this. Then everyone, your whole community, everyone just pulls you down. Everything. It's like, fam, just relax,
That's
man.
what
He
I was
lost the
saying.
fight.
I
He
was
will
seeing,
move
like,
on.
Way too many people turn, and I was just like,
But
relax.
it's cool, innit? It's cool.
It is what it is, man. Villain time.
Dad was there. Did I have a dad?
duds this week.
Bruv,
I don't
feels
even
like
know.
I'm putting
Spurs.
Spurs in there every
Ollie,
week.
Ollie,
Spurs.
Feels like I'm putting
Ollie.
Spurs in there every week.
Ollie was
For the press
complaining
conference
about
thing.
penalties
And then
got
missed.
the penalty.
No, Bruno's
Hey,
a dud.
oh,
That
no,
penalty was
no.
horrific.
Bruno's a dud, yeah. For I'm sorry, this trend of
Sorry,
fucking
Martinez is a
apologies
pen.
and statements
Martinez is
that
a
are
champ.
coming out after players do basic things, bro.
Yeah.
You missed a penalty. We don't need a 2-letter essay explaining why you missed it. It happens, bro. You have the pressure of CR behind you. We get it. You bottled it. Fine, we move. But
Yeah.
and now every player, it seems
Everything.
like everything there needs to be a statement that follows up. Allow it, man. It seems unauthentic
Yeah.
and it's
And
just,
even
nah.
the players all putting hearts and come back stronger.
we
Oh,
got
United
you, bro.
too. We've got you.
Lad,
Yeah,
man.
man. Don't
Nah,
care. You know what I mean?
football's-
They will come back stronger. than that.
Football's gone to
Hey, man.
soft
You're
soft
childish, I swear.
soft is the wrong word, but like football's just gone to like
It's gone
Fam,
mad.
you're
They got my
performing.
goat. They got my goat doing PR,
PR
posts.
statements.
My goat is
CR,
every week.
CR's now PR, you know.
Bro,
Bro,
my
it is.
goat is every week is saying sorry to the fans.
Wait till
cannot
Rashford
drop
comes
our
back.
heads.
Listen, wait till Rashford comes back. Man United will lose him back.
Oh
Listen, we're so
my
sorry, but you know what?
Bruv.
We're gonna make sure we feed all of the
Rashford,
kids in
CR,
Europe.
Bruno.
Watch,
Oh.
right, the PR is gonna be
We're just gonna do
PR
something outside Downing
Manchester
Street.
United. You know,
PRFC.
love it. You love to see it.
It's crazy.
Fam, UNICEF FC. But listen, another week, another episode.
Oh yeah, wait, look, last thing. 6 teams in the Premier League have 0 wins. All duds. All duds. I clocked it earlier. 6
Wait,
teams.
who are they?
Bro,
Norwich.
quickly. Bro, I saw
Wait,
it.
Norwich, yeah, I
Leeds, Bielsa, dud.
Oh, Leeds
no
are going
win.
for a little madness.
Bro, sorry, I have to get the 6 teams up because they can't run from this.
This
They
isn't
cannot
a dud,
run
yeah,
from this.
But we need like a new thing where it's like open cases.
On who?
No, just in general.
Oh.
Didn't we used to have the
review.
flickering light thing,
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
What was it?
But what's it called? Under the lights.
Under the lights.
Yeah.
Bro,
But
our
the
production.
Rogers
I can't even
allegations
get my
are
thing
looking
up.
very crazy.
Yo,
The Rogers
You've got some
allegations
Rodgers
are looking
allegations
very
to
crazy.
respond to.
He's
The light is
do you want
bright.
to?
We ain't got time now, but it's, I'm saying we're opening the
Hope
case.
they lose
case
next
is
week,
big.
so
We're
we
opening
can
the
spin
case.
the block
But
on
listen,
this
You know
one.
how like Lukaku ain't bust case on the big games.
Fam, the case might open. Fam, we might have to open the cases.
Open it.
Hey,
You know, once
agendas are everywhere.
You're in the locker room, you're like,
What
this case
can
is
I cook
unresolved.
next week?
What's the case is unresolved.
I can't even find the 16. I don't know why. There's no connection.
calm, listen,
but I know there's
you'll
some
find it, but-
duds there, man.
Let us know, like, share, subscribe, follow the privates. I think all of us have actually got some interesting shit
Those
coming up
locals back
soon.
this week.
There's Locust Champions League is
League
here.
back this
There's a
week.
Yeah,
big
baby.
game. You're PSG playing.
City. Messi's running from the grind though. Messi's running from the grind about knee injury. He's running from the
Oh
grind.
wait, actually as
Messi-
well.
He's saying,
very,
why-
very
why
brief
rest the
one.
knee?
Very brief one. Who gets very brief one? Who gets the dud in that situation of Mbappe complaining on the bench that Neymar doesn't pass? Who gets the dud?
What
there?
did Euro show when we had the Euros? Mbappe,
Watch out.
his head's getting too big, bro.
What you said, mate? You didn't pass to him. What's wrong with
his
that?
head's, bro, you just scored a late winner, and you're there on the bench thinking he doesn't pass to me. He wouldn't do that, bro. Mbappe's getting. Anyway, he's off soon.
But listen,
It is what it
another
is.
episode.
But I can't wait for PSG's downfall.
Like, share,
Trust me.
subscribe, and yeah, we're out.
Peace.